runs.
She gives a few really good growls at him.
What's a feller to do? Feller's only got tinplate track down on the lower level. Got all these funny brass beauties here. They got these little small flanges. Just don't work so good on tinplate track. And then there's these, yeah, I don't know, these curves here. Yeah, well, what's a feller to do? Especially when he's got something 7,500 feet long and 8,000 pounds. Well, got a couple of those. They need some big radius and, you know, kind of some T-shaped rail, something like that there. What's a fella gonna do? Well, feller could just cheat, take the easy way out. Little GarGraves, little phantom center rail. Frankly, gives you best of both worlds, since the ties are wood and both outer rails are not connected together, or at least not from GarGraves anyway. You can run third inside rail, or you could run two rail, or you could install an outside third rail and run outside third rail, or you could put some poles up and use these little fellas. Whatever you want, but I don't know. Then there's other ways. You can get this fabulous, look at that fabulous true scale. Thanks, Gary. And I will use this eventually someday. 48-inch radius. And the beauty of this true scale roadbed is it's got, it's already milled to accept the code 148 rail. And I got a couple of, well, I got a whole bunch of code 148 steel rail. But I don't know. If that's what I want to do first or not. Oh, that was kind of exciting there. Had to save a glass. So what can a fella do? What else could a fella do? Well, got the GarGraves. I mean, if a fella had some little rails, and these are neat little rails. Look at these little rails. Where'd these rails come from? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Anyway, these, well, you know, I'm in a bunch of American flyer groups, so you guys probably know what that rail was. Had some rusty ties. So, you know, got a whole gondola full of that there, and a whole bunch more. And then, you know, I realized if you really wanted to just cheat, the width of the bottom width of the rail is the same on this Flyer S gauge rail as it is on like 027 rail. So you could do that. And by George, that works stupendously. El Perfecto. And gosh, that's easy, but you gotta donate a lot of track. You gotta donate some S gauge track, you gotta donate some 027 track. And you know, what else could a fella do? Well, he realized he's got a lot of this with rusty ties. I'm not going to use those. Oh, what do we got here? So if you go to the store and do it the expensive way instead of doing it the cheap way and buying a bag of 750 ties that are the correct size from, you know, from some of the companies that sell that stuff, you can go to like Menards or something and buy you some 1/4 inch square basswood at an exorbitant price. And you can cut them things up, and you got yourself some the beginnings of some track there with some cheap reused American Flyer rails. But how do you spike them down? Well, that's where the whole bunch of, well, unused HO scale track spikes come from. Perfect and True Scale and who knows who else. But anyway, that's kind of where we're going.